My name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Vastu Creations. Today we're going to look at the chart of Elon Musk. If you look to the eastern horizon using Vedic sidereal zodiac, not Western tropical zodiac, you would see the constellation associated with Gemini rising at 20 degrees. This is important because his malefic planets K2 and Rahu are also very close to 20 degrees. They're at 21. And so they can afflict six out of his 12 houses. First, we're going to look and see how the planets are operating in his chart, and then we'll look and see when they're operating and what could be done to strengthen the chart. So Sun is fairly strong in his chart, gives him really good leadership, entrepreneurial abilities. It is ruling the third house of success through leadership and communications and transportation. Um, Then we have a strong moon. Moon is also strong, and it rules the house of wealth and fame and stability in relationships. Um, it gives him wealth through transportation. Moon is in the house of success through transportation, investments, public. And mother was a very big support. Moon is an indicator for mother, who helped him with his citizenship. Then we have weak placement, old exalted Mars. Mars is at 27 degrees. Any planet more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age and cannot protect or promote its own significations. And as well, it's placed in the eighth house of challenges. So Mars rules income. So and his income in being placed in the eighth house gives him the ability to do research. Um, he does has Asperger's. He's a risk taker and can be vengeful. So all of that comes from Mars. He has a temper. We have weak combust Mercury. Mercury rules the fourth house of happiness and family life, and Mercury being weak gives him controversial speech, controversial tweets, very mercurial, and also this can account for Asperger's as well. Then we have weak placement, infinite Jupiter. Um, any planet that's less than 5 degrees is said to be an infant state and cannot protect its own significations. So Jupiter ruling the seventh house gives partnerships in cures and influence and new innovations. Jupiter is also indicator for children. He has 11 kids. Then we have weak placement afflicted by Rahu, Venus. Venus rules the house of children and is an indicator for wives. And so he has creativity in his investments in space travel. Um, but there are issues with his marriages, um, had several divorces, and the children have some issues. He treats them like employees. Then we have weak placement Saturn. Saturn rules the ninth house of good fortune, um, and gives, it's poorly placed in the 12th house. So this gives him the ability to take on several roles, not only Tesla, but SpaceX and Twitter. Um, let's see here. Then we have Rahu and Ketu. They're challenging for a Gemini. And so they afflict the second house of stability in marriage, the sixth house of divorce, and the 10th house of career from time to time, eighth house of having to do with abusive father, 12th house of feeling like he doesn't fit in, and the fourth house also, which can have to do with divorce. Let's look at the timing of events. So his first venture was Ballstar in 91 during a Jupiter period that was a collaboration. Jupiter rules the house of partnerships. In 95, he moved, uh, and that was during a Mercury transit in the 12th house, which has to do with relocation. The in 99 he sold Zip2 for 22 million during a Moon Saturn period, Saturn ruling the house of good fortune. In 2000 he got malaria. Um, he also sold eBay PayPal for 1.5 billion during a Saturn period. Then in 2002, he had SpaceX, had a son who died of SIDS. Um, and we can see that K2, it was a K2 period, and K2 was right on his rising sign degree, afflicting the fifth house, Venus, which is representative of children in his chart. Venus rules the fifth house of children. And in 2004, he came up with, started Tesla, um, and that was also a Venus period, which has to do with creativity. 2008, he got a divorce during a Saturn period. And then 2018, he got sued by the SEC. Saturn K2 period. K2 was afflicting Sun, which is his success, limiting his success during that time. And then 2021, 2022, he got Twitter, and that's all during a Mercury period. And now, present day, like March 10th, Tesla had a big drop of about 15%. And there's some definitely opposition to his influence on the president. And so this is a difficult period for him. You can see that Rahu is in Pisces along with Mercury and Venus, and it can get fairly worse. I think maybe towards the end of May it'll start to get better, but it, they were all bunched up at one point there. Um, so in looking at his transits, his dasha periods, in 2030, he will move into a Jupiter period, and he'll be out of the Rahu period, which will be much, much better for him. So what can we do to strengthen this chart? He's already involved in charities, which would be transforming Rahu and Ketu, which we don't want to strengthen since they're malefic. And the rest of the planets could be strengthened with my favorite remedy, a kavash, which is a silver locket containing the Devata yantras and mantras for his benefic planets. Thank you so much for listening.